Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day for most of us, and Hump Day is a beautiful day because it's another day to overcome, and the overcomer is blessed. The overcomer gets a crown of life. So it is currently 62 degrees, going to be a high of 85, with a chance of thunderstorms rolling in later on this afternoon into the evening. So we're in a study of the Song of Solomon, and we're in chapter 2. And yesterday, we got to look about verse 7. So we talked about him being able to take her out to the banqueting house out in public. The public perception of the relationship is favorable. We talked about his war banner, right? He's prepared. He can fight the battles spiritually. Actually, he can fight the battle spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, economically, and he's that banner, right? That banner that's over her is love. So the banner that warns all his enemies, right, is love. That's the banner that's hanging over her. And that's a pretty big order, right? That's a tall order, because there's going to be the enemy's going to attack in all those ways, right? He's going to attack your house, is it, the water heater breaks, whatever, right? He's going to attack. He's going to try and get in between the communication. He's going to try and get in between the finances, right? So he in this case, he's got it before he even considers marriage. He's got his house set, right? His curtains. It talks about the couch. It's a shelter in the wilderness. We saw. Monetarily, he's got his vineyards. He can take care of her. He's got his flock. He tells her, come set up your tent next to mine, right? He can pull her in, and he can be her protection, and that protection is love, y'all. That protection is love. All right, so let's pick up in verse. Let's pick up in verse 6. His left hand is under my head. His right hand embraces me. I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or the does of the field, that you not stir up or awaken love until it pleases, until the appropriate time, okay? Until it pleases, okay? And so his left hand is under my head, his right hand embraces me, and it would seem, okay, as though she's wishfully asking for a physical encounter. Okay, that's what it would seemingly is like in this context. So the love is there. Okay, she thinks she's committed to him. They're not yet married, but that desire is there, and that is something that they're gonna have to battle. That desire. I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, so all her friends, okay, by the gazelles or the does. One commentary says that in ancient Near East culture that a gazelle is associated with love. All right, so by the love of the field, the love that's out there, do not stir up or awaken love until it pleases. And that you there is plural, so ye. And so she's telling the homegirls not to peer pressure her because she will stumble. She will stumble. She don't need any peer pressure because it's already there. It's already in her. And that is something that ladies and men too, for that matter, you gotta watch out for that peer pressure. Okay, don't let the community around you, don't let the world, don't let what you see on YouTube, on the TikToks and all those other, the snappers, whatever you guys using these days, don't let what you see there entice you or fool you or trick you or deceive you or lie to you into awakening love before it's time, okay, before it pleases. Verse 8, the voice of my beloved, behold, he comes, leaping over mountains, bounding over hills. Can't nothing stop him. Okay, that can't nothing stop him. So that could be a literal or figurative interpretation, because in Jerusalem, right, Jerusalem's up a hill. So he could literally be on his way to Jerusalem after setting up his house to get there to take her in, or and let's use and, because God is bigger than or. God's not a or type of God. He's an and, meaning he's bigger than all that. Like, as much as we study this, right? As much as we study this, there's some things in it that we just cannot know. We just cannot know, because God is so grand. His knowledge and understanding is so vast, right? From the east to the west, you can't comprehend it. So it could be both, right? But leaping over mountains, bounding over hills, nothing is going to stop him from getting to his woman. Okay, nothing. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, there he stands behind our wall, gazing through the windows, looking through the lattice. So our wall, that's probably her mother's house. Okay, and the image that pops into my head is like that gazelle or that doe by the watering hole, right? And you know that that's a place where predators go too. There's only one watering hole, so predators are there as well, but they're still there, right? So there's this healthy fear, there's an alertness, but they're still having a drink, right? And that's kind of like the description here. He's by the mother's house. He's looking in through the window. There's this healthy fear. He wants to do it right and be respectful, but he's like, there's this draw. There's this draw of need in his heart of having to see her. Okay, there's this draw. My beloved speaks to me and says, arise, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. All right. For behold, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. So the season's ended. The season's ended, and that season is like the rainy season or the winter season. Okay, and it's past. And now coming into the spring season, these seasons that we run into, there's a reason why kind of spring is like the season of love, and people, because they call it spring fever, because you get out of the house, right, and it's everything's starting to wake up and bloom and blossom. It's kind of the same thing. So they're out of that. He's saying, like, the time is starting to come now. You can come with me. All right. So until he pleases, or until it pleases, this is the time now. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come. Now it should be this beautiful moment of praise, like that the you could think of it as wedding singing or whatever, but that singing, that praise, that rejoicing, it should overwhelm and overflow and just cause them to sing, and not just them to sing, but also the daughters of Jerusalem, right? People should be happy about this. Boom. For the time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our hand. All right. The voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. So that turtle dove is a representation of love, right? And it's cheeping. It's in the land, right? You can hear it all over. It's good, right? It's good. The fig trees ripens, it figs, and the vines are in blossom, they give forth fragrance. Arise, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. So you see that line again, right? So there's what's called like a literary envelope in poetry. Sometimes poets do that to kind of encapsulate a section, and here he's encapsulating the section of the happiness of the time. Okay, the happiness of the time, and in that is the time is now, right? Like it is okay to start the process. It's okay to start the process. And so all things have a time. All things have a time. We don't have to push anything. We don't have to force anything, because things work in seasons, right? Things work in seasons, and eventually you come out of that season and you know when it's the next season. Everybody around you knows when it's the next season, right? Don't notice in the land, right? The turtle doves are heard in the land. Everybody knows, right? There's this feeling of consensus. There's this feeling of consensus. So that's another sign of how do you know when it's ready, when the people around you are comfortable with it as well.